So how do you create a brand that truly represents who you are and the products you sell, as well as building a business that you can scale online? That is what this podcast will help you do. My name is Henry Kaminsky Jr., and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, Jersey's here.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Brand Doctor Podcast episode. Whoa. Today is an amazing day. It's a little crazy out there weather-wise. We're getting some crazy wind, so I got my fingers crossed that I'm going to be able to record this without the power going out again. So I'm taking a gamble here, but I think we're going to be all right. Today's topic of conversation is going to be about how to create a runway of cash that's going to help you build your brand. Okay, so if you guys are kind of going through what I went through a few years back when it comes to living project to project, you know, you might as well be living paycheck to paycheck, right? You're taking on all kinds of work, doesn't matter what shape or form, because you can't afford not to work, right? You got to just take it on, whether it makes you miserable or not, just to keep the lights on and keep things flowing. You know, you're getting burnt out and you're miserable because, you could be doing better. You could be doing more. You could be focusing in on working with the right type of client, yet you got to do what you got to do because you don't have the financial runway to make those moves. Right. And I'm going to share a personal experience with you, because it wasn't too long ago where I was running into some serious financial issues, personally and professionally. You know, I was not financially intelligent by any means. I would spend money before I even had it, or when a big project would get done, I'd go blow it on frivolous things. And at the end of the day, my bookkeeper accountant would talk to me and say, Henry, where'd all this money go? And, I would show them, receipts of like just dumb shit, and they were like, they're not going to tell me how to run my business, right? Cause that's not them. But, it sucked at the end of the day when I didn't have much money to show for what I was working so hard for. And I finally said to myself, this is when I almost lost my business a second time, and I was talking to my dad about it. And I don't know if you guys heard the story, but, I had to return a couple of my watches to infuse money back into my business. And I was on, my marriage was on death row, cause my wife had it up to here with my spending and just she lost a lot of trust in me, as a person because I wasn't good with money, and that, if anybody knows, how that feels, it's a tremendous strain on your marriage. And, I said to myself, I don't want to lose my wife. I don't want to, I have a newborn son. It was about 3 years ago. I have a newborn son. I don't want him to pick up these bad habits at the bottom. That's what I was thinking at the end of the day. So I forced myself to become more financially intelligent. So I went digging, I went searching, I went looking for who can help me understand money and create a better relationship with money so that I can start creating a runway full of cash to help me get control over my business, get control over my life, start to level up where now I can start to choose who I work with. Now I don't have to take every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's coming along looking for a logo or looking for a website or a funnel design. I don't have to take everybody. But I couldn't get there without studying and researching and educating myself and becoming more financially intelligent. And I'm going to share with you how I've been able to build up a tremendous runway inside of my business over the past 3 years of implementing this strategy. And I'm going to give you the step-by-step, play-by-play so you could start implementing it too, because it's not that hard. It's really not. But before we jump in, guys, I want to share with you a quick little message. If you're a coach or consultant who wants to start leveraging your personal brand to attract the right clients online, check out my Brand Yourself 5-day challenge to help you get the clarity and focus you need to create a brand that truly represents you. Visit www.uniquedesigns, with a Z at the end, not an S, .net/challenge. All right, so let's dive into this, shall we? So the first thing that I want to recommend is this book out there called Profit First. I think the author is Mike Michalowicz. Definitely check out this book. You know, it's funny. I had this idea. I found this idea and this framework from Jim Rohn about 3 years ago, before I even knew what this book was. And then I read the book and I said, I see what he's doing. He's taking what I'm doing and just taking it to a whole nother level. So I have since then sort of reorganized my strategy to the book. But for those folks that don't have any plan, do what I tell you first, and then you can build upon that. Get your feet wet, get used to it. Start to build up some discipline, and then you could dive into that book and take it to the next level. So the first thing that I want you to understand is the 70-10-10-10 split. This is how I learned it from Jim Rohn. So first he said, you want to live off of 70% of revenue generated. Okay. And then you're going to chop up the other 30% into 10% buckets. Okay. So anytime I get a payment, let's just say over $500 or more, I'm going to ignite this strategy. If you're, anything less than that, it's going to start to become cumbersome unless you start to bundle what I'm going to tell you about, what I'm about to tell you to do. Right. So just think about this for a second. All right. You're living off of 70% of your income and you're reinvesting the other 30% into specific buckets. Okay. So anytime you get a payment, let's say if you're doing high ticket, anything over $500, you're going to split that payment, right? You're going to put out 50 into one bucket, 50 into another bucket, and 50 into another bucket. Okay. So here are the buckets, right? 10% should be earmarked for marketing. Without marketing, guys, your business is going to struggle, right? You have to put away money to market, okay? Whether it's creating little promo ads like the one the one you just heard about my 5-day challenge, or you're paying for advertising, whatever the case may be. But you have to have a budget for marketing, all right? So just tuck it away. You may not need it right now, but just tuck it away. And anytime a payment comes in, throw another 10% in there, throw another 10% in there. Next thing you know, you're going to look and you're going to have thousands of dollars in that account. And now you're going to be in a much better position to spend that money more wisely. All right. The next bucket I want you to pay attention to is the investment bucket. Okay. I'm not a huge guy on the stock market. I'll be honest with you. I don't follow it day to day, and I'm not an avid trader by any means. I'm sort of like that set it and forget it guy. And there's tons of apps out there that can help you do this, right? The one app that I use is Acorns. It is perfect for what I use it for. So I set up all of my credit cards up in Acorns. So every time I swipe my credit card, I could set how aggressive I want to round up. So I have it set for three times, 3x, right? So if I spend $3, it'll take 369. It'll take $9 and put it in the stock market automatically. Now you could do 1x or 2x if you want to go more conservative. It's up to you. That's one way to save money while you're spending money. Okay. The other thing that I do is if I get a big payment from a client, I will take 10% of that payment and I will manually put 10% of that payment into Acorns, and then they will invest it into the stock market according to how aggressive I want to trade. Okay. So I'm not going to go deep into this, but I can tell you this. It took me about 6 minutes to set up an Acorns account and set up my bank account information and things like that and credit cards. And it was that easy. Okay. Now I've had this Acorns account now I'm going on my third year. Okay. There's well over 6 figures in that account. 3 years. Now I have room to breathe. Finally. All right. And then the third bucket that you want to put 10% of all your earnings in is the rainy day fund. It's very simple. Depending on what bank you have, there's a rainy day fund. All right. And you just put 10% in. Forget about it. Like you don't even have it. Okay. Now Profit First will tell you, you should have a fourth bucket for taxes. That's very, very important. You don't want to get caught with your pants down where at the end of the quarter, end of the year, you have to pay all these taxes and you don't have money to pay it. It's happened to me before. It sucks. Luckily I had the money and we took care of it, but now I pay quarterly taxes and it's a lot easier to manage. And then there's a couple other buckets that Mike Michalowicz talks about in Profit First that you should check out. But the 3 main ones I'm talking about today are your marketing bucket or account, your investment account, and your rainy day fund account. And any payment that comes in your way, $500 or more, you want to take that money and split it up 3 ways and dump it into those 3 buckets, right? Takes you 5 minutes. 5 minutes, if that. Right now I have all the mobile apps for the bank, so I could do the transfers, and the Acorn app is super easy to use, and I could just transfer that money, no problem. And I'm on with my day. So what am I doing? I'm taking my Profit First and then living off the rest. Okay? That is what's going to help you tremendously build up a runway of cash. So if you can do this consistently with discipline, imagine what your life is going to be like moving forward. Say we get hit with another pandemic or another crisis that catches us with our pants down. Now we have a runway of cash to live off of without sweating bullets. Man, if I didn't start this 3 years ago and COVID hit, I would be in serious trouble. So I don't want to see that happen. I see it right now. People don't even have $500 in their bank accounts. It's sad. It's funny. It's crazy. It's not funny. It's mind blowing how many people live paycheck to paycheck. Now I'm not pointing fingers because I was that guy. I I lived paycheck to paycheck, so I know what it feels like. It sucks. But if you stay consistent and disciplined with what I just told you, over time, that money's going to compound, and you're going to have a lot of money sitting in a couple of different accounts that you can go to in an emergency. Okay? Let me ask you this. What's life going to be like, and what's business going to be like when you could start to pick and choose the people that you do business with, rather than taking any Tom, Dick, and Harry that's looking for whatever service that you provide? What's the quality of life going to be like when you can actually say, nah, you know what? This isn't going to work. I'm going to pass on this job, because you got money in the bank to play with, right? Imagine putting your money in an investment account that's super easy to use, like Acorns, and your money's making money for you. You know, the stock market is proven to, return up to 10% every year. And there's bad years, believe me. I got a little frantic during COVID when the market got very volatile. I had my finger on the withdrawal button, and something told me, ride it out. Don't touch it. Just let it go. And I backed off. Thank God. Because when everything came back around, I just continued to invest, even during those darker days. I just kept putting in. And when things shot up again, my account just rode this giant wave. It was a whoosh. I was like, wow, we're doing pretty damn good. Thank God I didn't pull out. So I want to share this with you, because what does this have to do with branding? Not much. But if you don't have money to invest back into your business, if you don't have a runway of cash, it makes things a lot harder. And it's a lot harder to make decisions when you don't have that cushion. So I want to share with you this 70-10-10-10 philosophy that I've been putting together now for 3 years. And we're good. So, I want to introduce you, because there's a lot of people out there that are maybe they're saying to themselves, you know what, it's time to invest in myself. It's time to monetize my expertise. It's time to rebrand, because we got to shake things up. So if you are a coach or a consultant, speaker, author, any of those people that want to take their personal brand to the next level, I highly recommend you take action on that promo that I talked about earlier in this episode. And check out the 5-day personal brand yourself challenge. It's going to help you kickstart what you need to do to start building your personal brand, building your audience up on social media, amplifying your message, your voice. And it's really going to help you kickstart a very profitable business, monetizing your expertise. So go check that out right now. Again, it's Unique Designs with a Z at the end, not an S.net/challenge. So have an amazing day, guys, and I'll catch you on the next episode.
Hey everyone, this is Henry Kaminsky Jr. again, and really quick, I want to invite you to a one-on-one consult with me right now if you're looking for the clarity and focus you need to build your brand. Over the past 13 years, I've served hundreds of entrepreneurs that have great products but struggled tremendously with articulating its value to their ideal customers. You didn't get into business to just change a few lives, did you? Your ideal clients need you. And when your brand has precision-crafted messaging coupled with beautifully thoughtful design that sounds, looks, and feels like you, they'll know you're the perfect match for them. If this is something you're struggling with, what I want you to do right now is pause this audio and go visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net, and book your one-on-one console call with me. Remember, the quality of your brand will determine the quality of your clients, and the quality of your clients will determine the quality of your life.